And so we're looking forward to spring practice, I know.
We're excited, we really are. That's what I was telling those folks over there, we've been meeting all day trying to get ready, so we're definitely excited. The kids are excited, and it's amazing how fast it rolls back around.
It sure does. I know, like I say, you've been here at South for the second. This is the second year. South's had a good history of performance in the playoffs and done some good things in the past. But you had a big breakup in the school as far as you lost a lot of students. First year you come in, I guess, was you'd lost a lot of students, hadn't you?
Well, actually, that happened actually the year before, 2 or 3 years before I got here. So I really don't know that. I'm kind of used to what we got, going from there. But from what I understand, it was a lot of kids. But
yeah, there was a lot of kids.
That's gone. We're moving on.
Yeah. In fact, I taught there in 1989, and we had about 200 kids. So it went from there to about 3,000 in 2009, I guess, or 8. And so now you're leveled off at about, what, 1,500, 2,000?
Something like 1,600, I think, somewhere in the ballpark. Right,
and you're still in the Region 4A.
Still in there.
And play all 10 games or region games, I understand. And everything, as far as your offense and defense, you're going to stay with the same this year?
Well, defensively will be the same. Offensively, we kind of, will be the same, but we gear it toward the personnel that we've got. So that's going to change a little bit this year, but the base stuff will be mostly the same.
Okay. And of course, you're shooting for the playoffs. I know that's the big thing everybody wants to do.
Well, we're going to suit up Monday, so we're going to be trying to go to the playoffs.
So you starting this Monday?
We start Monday. Yeah.
So you'll do 2 weeks and have a spring game on
I think it's the 13th. The second Friday is the spring game. So yeah, that's exactly. If we're going to play, we're going to try to get in.
What are you looking for as far as the region outlook? Who you think will be? I know Chattahoochee won the whole state last year, so you got to look at Chattahoochee as a strong team, I'm sure.
Well, the thing about 11-team region, every game, like you just said, is a region game. So there's no resting. I mean, you can't just. A lot of regions will have 6, 7 teams, and if you win 3 games, you're in there.
Right.
I mean, to get in the playoffs in our region, you basically got to have a winning record. I mean, you've got to win 6 or 7 games, or you don't get in. So this is the first time I've ever been in a region, with 20-something years of coaching, where every game was a region game, and it just it's every week's pressure. I mean, it's pressure to perform and win. You just can't have that bad game, and if you're battling for any of those spots, one game can change you from being in or being out or being first or being second. So it's definitely a pressure-filled year.
You start off with Forsyth Central as a home game, right?
We do.
So I'm sure you're looking for a big crowd for that one, and a lot of excitement for a local rivalry.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's fun playing in county schools. We don't play many of them, but hopefully there'll be a big turnout. The first game is always exciting. Everything's new. Everybody's 0-0, and anything can happen. And last year that game started out real intense. We ended up winning the game and playing well. But it'll be a battle this year. But it's a fun way to start. Not only first game of the season, but being a rival. So it'll be a lot of intensity in that ball game.
Yeah. I did. Now, how many players did you lose from last year?
Well, we didn't. We lost some very good players. Had a great senior class of just the core of it. There was only 14 of them. Every one of them were special. Every one of them contributed. So we're definitely going to miss them. But it was a small class. Our rising senior class is another small class. It's going to be about 14, and that's kind of goes with that split you were talking about. Those kids were part of that split. We don't get into numbers until we get into our sophomore and freshman class. But it's a good group of seniors coming back. I think, just like last year, the work ethic and leadership that those 14 guys gave, I think these seniors are going to be the same type of kids. So you're asking, we lost some very good players. Got one going to Georgia Tech, one going to Georgia Southern. So there's some big shoes to fill, but we've worked hard in the off season. Got a lot of kids that have gotten stronger and gotten faster and bigger. So, we still feel like we're going to be a competitive football team.
Yeah, when it all comes down to work, and the weight rooms are important, I'm sure, with all the stuff you have to do there, and that's year-round, isn't it?
It is, and that's one of my things. You can't win if you don't work in the weight room. And from day one, when I came in, that was the thing that I stressed, and we've done it since when we were knocked out of the playoffs. We went right back to work that following Monday on setting maxes and finding out where we start and where we got to. We've made great improvements in the last 4.5 months, and I think it's going to pay off when we get out on the field.
And I'm sure you got the team that's closest to you, or the nearest, the Lambert team is rival. Most of those kids know each other and play against each other, and so that's always a fun game.
It is. It's a big game for both schools, and you know, that's week 3 and it's early, and you know, everybody will be penciling that game in and looking for that game, and you know, it's just part of it. But the truth is, we got 2 games before that, so we're going to worry about them first. That is a big game.
And you got to travel up to the North Country for several games.
Yeah, we're going to pack our bags. We're going to be on the road a bunch. You know, this year it was great. We were at home on all the road games, but this year we got to go to Rome, got to go to Woodland, we got to go all the way nearly to Chattanooga.
Yeah, so that's a lot of fun.
We're going to log some miles, and you know, I think it's going to. And somebody was asking me this the other day. You know, what's that going to do to you going that far and playing a ball game? We're going to have leadership. We're going to have kids that can really, you know, concentrate and stay focused, because you got to leave about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock from school, and it becomes a whole day trip, and it's tough on grown people to stay focused that long. It's definitely tough on teenagers. So that's going to be a challenge for the coaching staff and for the players. But on the other hand, it's fun to, you know, get on the road, eat on the road, and do all those things. But it's definitely going to be some miles we put in this year.
All right. Well, you got a great crowd out here, South for South people. Thanks for coming out. And I think Travis is probably going to talk to some of those and talk to some of the Booster Club people about what you're going to do on that. But we appreciate you coming out and looking forward to the season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.